what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please be seated. And could we have another round of applause for Haley Stewart for her beautiful rendition of the national anthem? Good evening. As president of the College of Southern Maryland, I would like to welcome our elected officials, commissioners, members of the Board of Trustees, honored guests, distinguished faculty, and friends. I've got some VIPs here that I would like to point out. First of all, from the Board of Trustees, we have Mr. Ted Harwood, Chair. Sean Coates, Trustee. Jim DeMisa, Trustee. Lois DiNatale, Trustee. Samuel Jones, Trustee. Dr. John Roach, Trustee. And in our audience, Trustee Emerita Dorothea Smith, escorted as always by George Smith. We have members of the President's Council here, Dr. Bill Comey, Dr. Eileen Abel, Michelle Goodwin, Dr. Tracy Harris, Tony Jernigan, Dr. Dan Mosser, Craig Patnaud. We have some foundation directors with us. We have Linda Cox. We have Greg Cockerham, who I understand has not missed a graduation since his own many, many, many years ago. We have Mr. Al Leander. We have Foundation Director Emeritus Jay Lilly, Director Lisa Oliver, and Gary Simpson, also an alum. Representing the Charles County Commissioners, we have Commissioner Thomasina Coates, also an alum. Do you see a theme here? You can do great things, and just count us on your CV always. From St. Mary's County, we have Delegate Brian Crosby. From the Charles County Board of Education, we have Ms. Elizabeth Brown. Virginia McGraw. Our Campus Advisory Council members, we have Mr. Mike Bellis. We have Pastor John Lewis, Mr. Malcolm Funn. From our Program Advisory Councils, we have Mr. David Barrett and Heidi Ortolano and Paula Sorrells. We also have some other VIPs. We have Dr. James Bridgers, Deputy Health Officer, Charles County. The Honorable Patrick J. Devine, Circuit Court Judge, Charles County. Mr. Scott Travers, Regional Director for Anne Arundel, Southern Maryland, for Senator Chris Van Hollen. And we do have our most special guest, United States Senator Chris Van Hollen. This is terrific. It's terrific. And students, I've just got to tell you, you have so many supporters who are here today for you at graduation. All of these folks are here to honor you. And I want you to remember that because this graduation is very important. And it took an entire team to come together and do this for you. It takes all of us. It takes legislators, it takes industry experts, community stakeholders, and donors who, combined with the leadership of our faculty, our staff, are dedicated to helping you keep college accessible, affordable, and of the highest quality. So I'd like to take a moment here, and I'd like for us to recognize the people who made your success possible. Would our faculty and staff please rise? Let's applaud them. Thank you all. Now, folks, before I say a little bit more, I want to take a point of privilege. I see you have a lot of these. I'd like you to put your cell phones on stun, take a lot of pictures, I mean a lot of pictures, and I want you to tweet them. I want to see them on Snapchat. I want to see them on Instagram. Parents and grandparents, you can use Facebook. Our hashtag CSMGrad2019. CSMGrad2019. Let's make this night go viral because it's a very big night. You know, our first graduating class was only 4 people. 4. And tonight we are celebrating 541 candidates for graduation this semester who have earned a remarkable 547 associate degrees and 250 certificates. And we've got about 200 tonight walking. Most of our, yes. Most of our graduates are women, 62%. Our oldest graduate is 64 years young. But we're celebrating every student. Every student who is graduating today has overcome challenges to get to this point. Limited finances, medical problems, juggling family and work responsibilities. You know, no goal is ever achieved without some struggle, and some of your challenges are just remarkable. We applaud you for that. All of our students are an inspiration to us. You've completed your studies while working, raising families, volunteering in your community, our community, and that's what makes you so special. Your determination and persistence has paid off, and we hope the learning that you have here at CSM will help you fulfill a lifelong sense of purpose. We hope you stay connected to this college, your community. CSM is now your alma mater, and all of us here take great pride in your accomplishments. At this point, I'd like to bring forward our Faculty Senate President, Dr. Sarah Marenko, who has a few words to say to you.
Graduates, let me add my congratulations to all of you who are receiving your degrees this evening. As I was preparing my remarks and thinking about both your achievements and your potential, I was reminded of the movie Hidden Figures. The movie tells the story of 3 Black women mathematicians who worked for NASA in 1961, the year the space agency was preparing to send the first man into orbit. These 3 women, Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, did not have the title of engineers or scientists. In fact, at one point in the movie, Mary Jackson is asked this: "If you were a white man, would you want to be an engineer?" Jackson replied, "I wouldn't have to. I'd already be one." We should pause and think about the confidence and the determination these women must have had to be able to pursue their passion. These brilliant women with remarkable mathematical skills and computing knowledge worked behind the scenes. Their contributions were essential for the success of that mission, but they were not recognized for many years. Their stories inspire me. They have helped me be more fully understand what it means to live a life of consequence, whether or not you're in the limelight or garner accolades for your work. Graduates, now your next chapter is about to begin. Take your trust in yourself, your courage, and your character out into the world. Live a life of purpose and passion, and you will live a life of consequence. Thank you.
Thank you. Please welcome me now in welcoming, let me try that again. Please join me now in welcoming one of tonight's graduates to say a few words on behalf of his fellow graduates. I'd like you to welcome Mr. Mike Bellis. You get a big hug.
Good evening, classmates, professors, staff, and honored guests. A special welcome to moms, dads, spouses, and children, and other loved ones beaming with pride in the stands. Tonight marks the 7th College of Southern Maryland graduation I've attended. Typically, I sit as an honored guest as the executive director for United Way of Charles County. I sit alongside CSM Foundation directors, county commissioners, and other honored guests who are here to celebrate your wonderful accomplishment of graduation. In my role with United Way, attending these ceremonies has always been the highlight of my job. Yet few have known that I've been completing my degree here for the past 3 years. Perhaps it was hubris that led me to suppress this fact, but as I look out on the faces of my cohort, some young, some more seasoned, some working class, others affluent, some who call Southern Maryland their hometown, and others who came here from distant shores. This profound diversity with common purpose makes me immensely proud to be standing here today. Fellow classmates, tonight marks the culmination of countless hours of homework, studying, exams, and research, often measured in cups of coffee, hairs pulled, headaches from staring at computer monitors, missed social engagements, and nights we sent our spouses to bed without us. But this ceremony only marks the completion of our preamble. Our value will be measured from what we do from this moment. Many of you and I will continue to other colleges and universities where we'll continue our education. Others, like CSM's nursing program graduates, will enter the workforce, ready to serve alongside industry veterans, thanks to the training and education that they received here. No matter what God has in store, we must ensure that as we proceed through life's journey, we strive to be value adders in life. It took me 10 years to stand here today, but I know that my value is no greater today than it was yesterday. Our value is not measured in degrees conferred, medals awarded, or honors bestowed, but rather on the sum contribution to our families, our workplaces, and society. So I ask you, what will you do with it? I want to close with a line from someone many of us grew up with, and some we're just now learning about, thanks to a slew of new movies and books about him, Fred Rogers. When Mr. Rogers was awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award in 1997, he reminded the scores of movie and TV stars that countless people had helped him in his journey to be standing on that grand stage. He said, and I quote, "Some of you are here, some are far away, some are even in heaven. All of us have special ones who have loved us into being." And I'm going to ask you to do the same, but would you all take 10 seconds to think of the people who have helped you become who you are, those that have cared about you and wanted what was best for you in life? I'll watch the time. Whomever you're thinking about, how pleased the difference you feel they made. Congratulations, classmates. Let's get to work.
Quite an act to follow. And he even quoted somebody in my generation. Thank you, Mike, and congratulations. Over our 60 years of providing academic excellence and career training within our region, CSM has developed strong mutually beneficial partnerships. We're delighted to have joined us this evening as keynote graduation speaker, United States Senator Chris Van Hollen. Elected to the U.S. Senate in 2016, he began his public life service in 1991 as state delegate in the Maryland State Legislature and continued his role of state senator for 8 years before being elected to represent Maryland's 8th congressional district in 2002. He is known as a tenacious advocate for everyday Marylanders. As our U.S. Senator, Van Hollen is a member of the Appropriations Committee, where he works to provide resources for education, workforce development, and other critical national priorities. Please join me in welcoming Senator Van Hollen.
Thank you very much, Ted, and thank you most of all for your service as chair of the Board of Trustees, and to all the members of the Board of Trustees. Thank you for your many contributions to this great College of Southern Maryland. I also want to give a big salute to the extraordinary leader, the president of this great college, Dr. Murphy. Thank you, Dr. Murphy, for your leadership, and I've always been grateful for our work together and for your vision for this really important treasure in the state of Maryland. And let me just say to all of you how glad I am to be off of Capitol Hill and out of Washington, D.C., and with you in the home of the Hawks. I'm especially glad to be here for this special and happy occasion, and one of the clearest signs of how the College of Southern Maryland is really woven into the fabric of this part of our state is the range of ages and interests of our graduates today. I was looking through the list and I saw that the oldest, as was referenced to, is 64 years old. I'd say the most experienced member of the class, Jerry Wade of Waldorf. And the youngest being, let's give Jerry a big round of applause. Where's Jerry? And the youngest being Calvin Gorman of Dunkirk, who at 18 earned his associate's degree in Information Services Technology and Web Development. So you have the age bookends, and in between you have an incredibly talented and diverse group of graduates. So let's also give a great round of applause to all the graduates between the ages of 18 and 64 who are here today. I know your loved ones, graduates around this room, are very proud of your sacrifice, the persistence, and effort that brought you here. So please join me in giving all your family members and your loved ones a big round of applause for seeing it through with you. And we want to thank all of you. And to the very talented faculty and support staff who have guided you and mentored you during these years here at the College of Southern Maryland. So thank all of you very much. I also want to say, having just come from Capitol Hill, that I appreciate the measures and efforts the college has taken to help those who have been really negatively impacted by the government shutdown. I know you have some students who are federal employees themselves. I know you have other students who are the sons and daughters of federal employees. And as of now, we have about 800,000 federal employees going without pay, which is a real shame on the country. But I want to thank the College of Southern Maryland for offering to defer tuition for those who are being pressed at this point in time. So thank you to the college. I am also pleased to report that just last week, on a bipartisan basis in the United States Senate and then the House, we were able to pass legislation which didn't take care of the whole challenge, but provided a little bit of certainty, legislation that said that all 800,000 federal employees, when this nightmare of a shutdown is over, all of them will be made whole because they had nothing to do with the shutdown. So we were able to pass that. But most of all, as I talk to federal employees around the state of Maryland and other small businesses that provide contract work for the federal government, the message is very clear. Let's just reopen the government, and let's do it now. And that brings me to just a couple requests I have of graduates. This would not be a graduation remarks without a few requests for our graduates as they go out into our community. And the first really flows from the deep divisions we see in Washington, D.C. and around the country. And that is to always remember that despite whatever differences we may have among ourselves on policy issues or politics issues, there is so much more that unites us as Americans than divides us. And so let's do our very best to come together for the good of our community and our country. And I would say that in my years in public service, I've never seen a period of time when the country is so polarized and divided, which means all of us, regardless of our views on any particular issue, really have to do our part to listen to all the other views that come to us, weigh their points of view, and it may change your mind, it may not. But in my experience, we need to work overtime now to search for common ground and try to achieve principled compromise. What we found in the country these days is that we have more news sources than ever before in the history of the world, right? We have more cable channels than anyone could have imagined. We have, as a result of the internet, more sources of information than ever before. So you would think that everybody would be exposed and review a whole variety of different opinions and views. But in fact, the evidence suggests otherwise. We have this irony and this paradox. We have more information coming at us, but we then filter that information largely based on the opinions and views that we already have. And you'll see this when people just turn into the cable news station that expresses the views they agree with. You have algorithms, like the Facebook algorithm, that actually begins to send you news based on what you already liked. So it reinforces the news sources for things that you already agree with and you already like. And that results largely in people talking past each other and in a big echo chamber where you have two different echo chambers that never collide. So I believe we should all make a conscious effort to at least take time to listen to and consider the views of others that may not be the views we hold. It may not change our mind, but at least will give us a sense of what the argument is, and at the very least, challenge your own views and help you sharpen your own arguments. I can tell you that in my home, I raised the blood pressure of some of my family members, especially my wife, because I do flip to all the different cable channels. The best advice is probably just to turn them all off. But if you're going to have them on, try to get a sense of what people are saying so that we can have a better conversation and lower, in some ways, the decibel level and volume so that we can look for common ground and, where possible, adopt principled compromise. So I would say that at this very difficult and polarizing time. The second thing I would ask is what many of you already do, which is try to find some time to contribute to those in need in the community. I know it's tough because I know you're already juggling 100 things in your lives. And as you leave here, you're going to be juggling just as many. But in this great community, in this country of ours, in our democracy, we all have some responsibility, in my view, to look out for our fellow neighbors and others in our community who do not have the same opportunities. And so I ask all of you to try to squeeze out that kind of time to give to those in need in our community. If you don't have time to volunteer, I ask at the very least that you participate in our democracy by casting a vote. And everybody may say, and sometimes do, say that their votes don't matter. I can assure you that your votes matter and have consequences. My father grew up in the city of Baltimore. He went into the Navy. He then went into the United States Foreign Service, met my mom. She was the daughter of an English teacher. She learned Russian. She became a Russian expert. And my dad went into the Foreign Service. And so I lived many of my early years overseas. I was born in Karachi, Pakistan. I lived in India and Sri Lanka and Turkey. And it always surprises people in other parts of the world who do not have the rights of freedom of expression and speech and the right to vote, how so many Americans do not exercise the rights that we have in the Constitution. And that is very true in the case of voting, where even in big turnout years, you often see only 60% of eligible voters voting. And I will say the biggest drop-off is among younger voters between the years of 18 and 29. So I urge all of you to cast those votes. I can tell you in the United States Senate, we've had a lot of votes where the outcome was decided by one senator. And I can tell you that in a lot of elections around this area and around the country, you have very close elections. So it doesn't matter to me whether you vote for the Republicans or the Democrats or the Independent or whoever else. Please go out and participate in this democracy of ours. In the state of Virginia in the year 2017, they had one of their elections for the House of Delegates. You have Brian Crosby here, House of Delegates. You have one of those races in Virginia that tied, came down to a tie vote. The election was decided by a coin toss. And here's the craziest thing about that election. That one race for the House of Delegates in Virginia that came down to a coin toss decided which party was in the majority in the Virginia House of Delegates. So one vote decided which party controlled the Virginia House of Delegates. Now again, I'm not interested in the message of who was in control. My message tonight is every vote really does count. And if there's not a better example of one decided by a coin toss, I don't know what is. So I hope you will all participate in elections by voting and encouraging your friends and neighbors to vote. My last request is stand up for your values and ideals. And it sounds kind of hokey. I know you've heard it before. But I can tell you that as you go through life, one of the hardest things to do is to withstand peer pressure, to withstand the herd mentality. And it is very important that you be very focused on your inner moral compass and making sure that you're not easily tipped off of it, because I can assure you that conventional wisdom is not always wise. And I did want to share a story of an admiral of a battleship at sea during a night of foggy, foul weather. And the admiral spotted a light through the fog that was bearing down on the ship from the starboard bow, and he told his signalman, "Signal them that we are on a collision course. Advise them to change course 20 degrees. Back came the response to the admiral, "Advise you change course 20 degrees. The admiral ordered a signal back saying, "I am an admiral. Change course 20 degrees. came the reply, I am a seaman second class, you change course. By that time, the admiral was furious. He spat out a signal, I'm a battleship, change course immediately. Back came the flashing light, I am a lighthouse. So here's the way I see this. Whether you're talking about an admiral, a CEO, senator, president, don't assume that just rank or authority means that they have any better grasp on what is true. Always look your inner compass, ask the hard questions. The only exception I have to that rule is your mother, because I have found mothers do know best. But I really urge you to ask those hard questions and not to be disrespectful. Not to be contrary just for the sake of being contrary, but taking your responsibility to be well informed, asking the tough questions, testing your ideas, testing the ideas of others. That is something I think that will benefit you throughout your life. And so just in closing, as I look out at all of you, I know I share the pride and optimism of everybody gathered here in the room. You've gotten a great education at this great Maryland treasure that is the College of Southern Maryland. You're going to make wonderful contributions to our community and to our country. And I will close with one of my very favorite sayings, which is that the world needs dreamers and the world needs doers, but most of all, the world needs dreamers who do. So go out there, have big dreams, and fulfill your dreams. Thank you for everything you will do to strengthen our community and country in the days ahead, and it's great to be here again in the home of the Hawks. Take care.
Old salt off to my old heart.
One more time, can we thank Senator Van Hollen? And at this time, I'd like to bring Dr. Sarah Maranko back to the podium.
We, the members of the faculty, thank you, the candidates for certification and graduation, for giving us the time in your ceremony to recognize the recipient of this year's Academic Faculty Excellence Award honoring adjunct faculty. It is my pleasure to announce that John Delabra has been selected as the Faculty Excellence Committee to receive the 2018-2019 Adjunct Faculty Excellence Award. John is currently a public safety officer at CSM's Leonardtown campus and teaches part-time as adjunct faculty in the criminal justice in the Business, Technology, and Public Services Division. In his letter of nomination, Professor Rose Miller writes, he has quite a bit of critical thinking experience with law enforcement and brings excellent experience to his criminal justice classes. John tries to have his classes relate to real-world problems, telling true stories to help students remember important lessons when dealing with all the issues in this new modern-day world we live in. In his application, John discusses just how he does that in the classroom by conducting a semester-long investigation with a mock trial at the end. His goal for that assignment is to push students to take into account various aspects of the criminal justice community and show them how important first impressions and presentations are in the professional setting. He works hard to relate each lesson with either the student's life or the life they will lead in law enforcement, and he makes it enjoyable and exciting at the same time. This method must work, as he has several students who approach John every semester asking for his teaching schedule for the next semester so they can register for his other courses. It is for all these reasons that on behalf of the faculty, I present the 2018-2019 Faculty Excellence Award honoring adjunct faculty to John Delabra.
Well, that was exciting. We recognize that the college is only as strong as its faculty. And so this year, John, don't go too far. Don't go too far. It's my pleasure to recognize this year Faculty Excellent Award winner with a small cash award. Yeah, here he comes. See, he's moving fast. Small cash award from the College of Southern Maryland Foundation. Way to go, John. Here you go. You're good. You're good. We don't have anything else to give John, do we? I'm just checking. We're good. Tonight, as graduates are called to receive their certificates and degrees, you will note that some students are wearing honor cords. In your program, you can see the descriptions of the different colors. And now, what we've been waiting for, #CSM 2019, the presentation of certificates and degrees. I would ask Dr. Eileen Abel, Vice President of Academic Affairs, to please come forward.
So will the candidates for certification, doesn't sound on.
Try it again.
Will the candidates for certification and associate's degrees please prepare to come forward? First, Mr. Chair, Madam President, I present the candidates for certification. The faculty certify with this document that the following candidates have attained significant achievement and competence in their chosen programs. Conferring the certificates in criminal justice, McNeil Barr. Conferring certificate in therapeutic massage, Shannon Evelyn Burke. Brittany Jo Higgs. Drafting, okay. We are now conferring certificates in drafting. Andrew James Nicholas. William Bryan Nicholas. We now confer certificates in Basic Fitness Manager, Sean David Ridley. We now confer certificates in General Studies, Paul M. Robeson. We now confer the certificates in medical assisting, Shantae Charisse Barber. Maureen Elizabeth Young. Mr. Chair and Madam President, I now present for the associate's degree the candidates who have been approved by the faculty and whose names appear on the official list. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degree in accounting, Kine Ba. Danielle Ann Eldridge. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, Liza Faith Adams. Katie B. Arnold. Lacey Celine Barnes. Tashara Marie Butler. Deanna Carolina Walters. China M. Kane. Alexis Louise Conger. Christina Rose Cooper. Sydney Markeisha Cooper. Jessica A. Deitch. Danielle N. Fensella. Kelly Victoria Foy. Ryan Matthew Gray, High Honors. Kelsey Elizabeth Hamilton. Regina Howard. Mary Helen Ingwilson. Kayla L. Johnson. Jordan Elizabeth Kistler. Daniel Joseph Kowalczyk. Teresa Ray Mandeville. Michelle Lynn Matera, Honors. Shelby Nicole Malloy. Connie Pearsall. Kawan Adero Perez. Evelyn Maria Pike. Danielle Vioras Pusey. Stephanie Gwen Roberson. Devin Patrick Roth. Rachel Amber Rye. Emily Elizabeth Sanders. Karina A. Smith. DeAndre E. Smith. Antonio M. Thompson. Jacob E. Wilkins. Ebony Deshara York. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, Art. Nicholas Daniel Hayden, highest honors. Ali Rashad Mubarak. Miranda N. Osborne, honors. Daryl W. Rice. Get ready, here comes David W. Rice III. All right. I can't compete with that. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, Biological Sciences, J.C. Alice Panowitz. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, Exercise and Sports Science, Tina Marie Shepard, honors. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, History, Elizabeth Ann Stahl. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, Social Sciences, Adrian D. Brown. Audacious Cheverly Douglas. Heather Lynn Johnson. Caitlin Nicole Murphy. Sierra N. Ringley. Deosha M. Scriber. Emily S. Snyder, honors. Kieria Tynesia Thomas. Savion Xavier White. Tayana Monet Whitfield. Tamara Cecilia Williams. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Arts and Sciences, Theater and Dance, Katie Michelle Fisher. Sierra Naida Levens. Jershawn Andre Mason. We now now confer the Associate of Science degrees in Business Administration. You've already been introduced to him. Michael David Bellis, honors. Jeffrey Elliott Byers, Jr. Elizabeth Marilyn Chandler. Courtney Lee Clemens. Kyle Edward Dalrymple. Taylor Elizabeth Fry. Emily Lynn Guy. Gerald A. Harris, Jr. Jessica Ashley Hicks. Jordan L. Johnson. Karanveer Singh. Samantha J. Strachko. Kervana Shanae Titus. Fidel S. Zawalo. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Business Management, Joelisha Marshall Barnes. Shanice M. Dorsey. Megan Marie Russell. We now confer the Associate of Science in Engineering degrees in Computer Engineering, Michael James Bassell. We now confer the Associate of Science degrees in Computer Science, James Anthony Litch III. Kenny Gustavo Saracini Rivera. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Criminal Justice, Marisha Maria Harper. Devin Nicole Bohr.
Oh yeah, Dad. Oh yeah, Dad. Okay, Devin.
Emily Nicole Howe. Kristen Marie Jackson, high honors. Brian Gondar Norton. Michelle Otero. Brittany Danielle Pugliacini. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Cybersecurity, Andrew Jacob Bohr, high honors. Tiffany L. Dent. Joseph O. Forson. Brandon Tyler Hersher, honors. Darius Isaiah Johnson. Anthony Mosher. George P. Nelson II. Brianna Rochelle Posey. Nicholas A. Ragland, honors. Danae Alicia Taylor. Sarah Lynn Young. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Early Childhood Development. Dorothy Louise Cole. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Emergency Medical Services. Katia Leonzo, honors. We now confer the Associate of Science degrees in Engineering. Laura E. Carrington. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Engineering Technology. Matthew R. Epley. Christopher Martin Mansfield, honors. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in General Studies. Jason W. Carter. Jayla Monique Elizabeth Colbert. Jarrett Richard Fawns. Jamie Lee Flanagan Lockhart. Deepashri Gimarariel. Joy N. Odia. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in General Studies Communications. Camille Janae Harris. Ari David Moore. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in General Studies, Criminal Justice, Shannon Lee Church. Deanna Monet Coley. Latasha Marie Curry. Bradley J. Kirst. James Theodore MacArthur. Dornay Rachel Riley. Tracy R. Smith. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in General Studies English. Mia S. Cooper. Shalise Dominique Roberts. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Hospitality Management, Zakia Renise Pettit. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Human Services, Darlene Lynn Allen. Riley P. Bosworth, honors. Kiera L. Hebb. Lindsay Michelle Jones. Cassandra L. Smith. Jerry Wade, honors. Dana LaShawn Wallace. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Information Services Technology, Web Developer, Calvin Madison Gorman. We now confer the Associate of Applied Science degrees in Management Development, Gina S. Smith. We now confer the Associate of Science degrees in Nursing, Jacqueline Elizabeth Austin. Lenita Balsbaugh. Jade Alexandria Boyer, honors. Jocelyn C. Carter. Dara Michelle DeCola. Allison Renee Deese. Stephen Woodson Dickinson. Elizabeth Duncan, high honors. Angie Marie Haddock. Molly Diane Harmon. Amanda Elizabeth Hill. Savannah Josephine Keiflein. Caitlin Ann Lane. Lisa Mulford Malecki, highest honors. Shonda Janelle McIver. Lindsay Ann McKenzie, honors. Jennifer Marie Nagy. Taylor Noel Nam. Kimberly Clerkin Nicholas, honors. Frances Grace O'Hara. Stephanie B. Pankowitz, honors. One of our own, Claudia I. Reber. Congratulations. Rebecca Ann Schramm. Zachary Luke Teston. Ashley Danielle Thompson. Kitamila Tulinegwi, Turner, honors. Rachel Marie Turner, honors. Marilyn Vandermerve, high honors. Megan Alexandra Williams. Carly Elaine Young. We now confer the Associate of Science degrees in Sport Management, Jesse Juwan Barnes. We now confer the Associate of Arts degrees in Teacher Education, Secondary, Kathleen B. Birch.
Will all the degree and certificate candidates please rise? We got a crowd here tonight, folks. They love you. They love you. So graduates, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the award for which you have been recommended, admitting you to all the rights and privileges throughout the land pertaining to those degrees and certificates. In testimony whereof you have received the award of this college, officially signed and sealed. And now, graduates, the moment you've been waiting for, you may officially move your tassel from the left to the right.
Will the faculty please rise? In recognition of your scholarly achievement, we, the faculty, salute you and wish you Godspeed.
Graduates, you are now part of a large network of proud CSM alumni, in fact, 26,345 alumni strong. I would welcome any alumni in the audience to please rise and recognize your new fellow alums. We commend all of you for your contributions to the vitality of this college, and we congratulate you on your accomplishments. And personally, I thank you for choosing the College of Southern Maryland for your education. And I want to thank you in advance for the contributions you're about to make to your community, to your family, to the economy. We can encourage you to continue to pursue your lifelong love of learning. Do that forever. No one can ever take your learning from you, because education is the greatest gift you can give yourself. This does conclude our commencement ceremony. Audience, I ask that you remain in your seats until the recessional has completed and the last graduate has left the area. Immediately following this ceremony, we invite you to join us for a reception of the graduates in the Center for Business and Industry, room 113. And graduates, stay put. One moment. I want to remind you one more time. It's #CSMGrad 2019.